Okay, let's test the new ChatGPT out, right? Sam Altman said that it let him code the 2-bit calculator snake game. So let's retry that. Code me a game like the snake game from old calculator game that they had. Something like that. Very vague. It's not worded properly. Let's see if it gets it and it does it. It finished. It thought for 4 seconds. It told me how to use it. No way. Run code. Can I run it? Let me run code. Start. No fucking way! No, bro. There's just no way. There's no way. Guys, we're cooked. Why can't I get this square? We're cooked. We're fucking cooked. Yo, we're fucking cooked, bro. We're cooked. We're cooked. It thought about it for 4 seconds and made the fucking game in like 10. Bro, we're cooked. It's over with. We are fucking cooked, bro. Ain't nothing we can do. We are cooked. Welcome back to StoneDape Studios. So they're going to be talking about Chat GPT-5. It's a new update for the company OpenAI. Sam Altman went on the podcast, Cleo Abrams. He talked about kind of what ChatGPT 5 is and what the future for OpenAI will be as well. And OpenAI let out like a short little clip kind of explaining what ChatGPT 5 is. And so I just kind of wanted to check it all out and see what we got going on. You know, my last video was on privacy, and AI has a big thing to deal with that. You know, we still have no legislation or any kind of laws, and even though we all use OpenAI and will continue to keep using ChatGPT as it keeps getting better and stronger. We're going to keep using it more and more. It's going to know more and more of our information, and I just think that it needs some regulation in terms of like, you know, privacy and who gets to see this and who gets to keep this data. So cooked, bro. Oh my god, it can run code. It can do. Yo, what is AI? It's not gonna do for us, bro. We're gonna just dive off a cliff with this shit, bro. This is insane, dude. This is fucking unreal. How the fuck? I'm bugged out, bro. I'm bugged out. I'm bugged out. I'm bugged out. Let's look at some clips about Sam Altman talking about ChatGPT 5 and what he thinks about it and how it's gonna affect us, man. Because this is gonna be huge, bro.
One important takeaway is you can have an AI system that can do all those amazing things you just said, and it clearly does not replicate a lot of what humans are good at doing, which I think says something about the value of SAT tests or whatever else. But I think had you gone back to if we were having this conversation the day of GPT-4 launch and we told you how GPT-4 did at those things, you were like, oh man, this is going to have huge impacts and some negative impacts on what it means for a bunch of jobs or, what people are going to do. And, this is a bunch of positive impacts that you might have predicted that haven't yet come true. And so there's something about the way that these models are good that does not capture a lot of other things that we need people to do or care about people doing. And
I mean, I hear this take a lot. I say, well, yeah, but it hasn't replaced human creativity. It still doesn't replace this and that. I'm like, bro, it's gonna. It's gonna, bro. Like, what do you think ChatGPT is not gonna be able to do that we just magically do better because we're humans? It's fucking bullshit. It's a fucking fallacy. What, that we're just we're more creative at writing? Dude. It's gonna make the best book ever. It's gonna make the best artist, the best painting, the best videos, the best coder. Like, it's gonna beat us in every single metric known possible, bro. I am so fucking scared for the future, dude. It is frightening, bro. And like people like him, right? I feel like they want to look at it through rose-colored glasses, but it's like, bro, I don't. Shit ain't sweet. It's not. If this machine is already, there's already articles, right, of AI and ChatGPT messing with people's IQ, messing with people's critical thinking. They rely on it so much that just how when you look at it, right, 30, 40 years ago, people knew where their streets were. They knew where places were. They knew how to read maps. They knew how to get around. They had to memorize numbers and street signs and this, that, or the other. And now with GPS, do you remember where anything is? Do you know how to read a fucking map? Do you know where any location is by heart? Fuck no. I know I don't. I know anywhere I gotta go, I just GPS that shit. Anywhere I gotta go, and if I go there enough times, then yeah, okay, I'll memorize the route to get there. But like anywhere I gotta go, anywhere. I've been in this place where I live. I should know where everything is, and I fucking don't. I use GPS every single day, so it's like we adapted that so quickly. GPS comes out on our fucking phones. Yeah, we don't need maps. We don't need to worry about anything. What are you talking about? We got it right here in the palm of our hand. So now ChatGPT is going to be able to, it's replacing our critical thinking with AI. We just ask it a question like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What should we do with that? Should I do this? Should I do that? And it's just like an AI system telling us how to live our lives, and we're listening to it. We're fucking listening to it. This is insane, bro. Does this not like scare anybody? Are y'all not fucking frightened about this shit, man?
suspect that same thing is going to happen again with GPT-5. People are going to be blown away by what it does. It's really good at a lot of things. And then they will find that they want it to do even more. People will use it for all sorts of incredible things. It will transform a lot of.
I believe that like people will like. I mean, dude, we adapt so quickly. It's, oh, so I can do this, and then it's oh, so we need to do that. Now we need to. It's just forever. Like, dude, fuck.
Knowledge work, a lot of the way we learn, a lot of the way we create. But we, people, society will co-evolve with it to expect more with better tools. So, yeah, like I think this model is quite remarkable in many ways, quite limited in others. But the fact that for
Limited in what, bro?
3 minute,
What can it do? Maybe we should talk about that. What can it not do?
5 minute, 1 hour tasks that like an expert in a field could maybe do or maybe struggle with, that the fact that you have in your pocket one piece of software that can do all of these things is really amazing. I think this is like unprecedented at any point in human history that that a technology has improved this much this fast, and the fact that we have this tool now, we're like living through it and we're kind of adjusting step by step. But if we could go back in time 5 or 10 years and say this thing was coming, we would be like, probably not.
Let's assume that people haven't seen the headlines. What are the top line specific things that you're excited about? And also the things that you seem to be caveating, the things that
Yeah.
maybe you won't expect it to do.
The thing that I am most excited about is this is a model for the first time where I feel like I can ask kind of any hard scientific or technical question and get a pretty good answer. And I'll give a fun example, actually.
please.
When I was in junior high, or maybe it was ninth grade, I got a TI-83, this old graphing calculator. And I spent so long making this game called Snake.
Yeah.
It was a very popular game with kids in my school. And I was like pro when it was done, but it was like programming on a TI-83 was extremely painful. It took a long time. And it was really hard to like debug and whatever. And on a whim, with an early copy of GPT-5, I was like, I wonder if it can make a TI-83 style game of Snake. And of course, it did that perfectly in like 7 seconds. And then I was like, okay, am I supposed to be? Would my like 11-year-old self think this was cool or like, miss something from the process? And I had like 3 seconds of wondering like, oh, is this good or bad? And then I immediately said, actually, now I'm missing this game. I have this idea for a crazy new feature. Let me type it in. It implements it, and it just, the game live updates. And now I'm like, actually, I'd like it to look this way. Actually, I'd like to do this thing. And I had this like, this very like,
Oh my god. Yo, I've watched countless intrusive of him. He does that like that. He'll be like he'll like be like, well, is it right? Is it wrong? And he'll have this like whole like kind of therapy talk with you, and then he always like, well, I always ask myself, and then but I think I realize, and it's always like just beneficial and like never really. I mean, it's like he will not say definitively that this shit is scary, bro. And maybe he doesn't believe that personally, and he's just hoping for the best. But it's like he doesn't know, and he's just gonna keep finding the best things for it. Obviously, because it's his company, he wants us to make billions of fucking dollars. But it's like, I mean, how honest can I take him at his word though? Like, he's like he like Theo Von call him like whimsical, and he is whimsical. He makes you feel good about this technology, right? He makes it like he talks to you in a way where it's like, hey, we're not, what I'm saying? Like, it's still all good. Like, you can do some things, you can do some other things. It's still really good, but you know what I'm saying? Like, would my 15-year-old mind lose value in this? But it's like, bro, like, I know what you're doing and fair play, but it's like, fuck, dude, how can you not? I hope she raises some questions about this, because it's like, this
kind
is
of,
crazy.
yeah, this experience that reminded me of being like 11 in programming again, where I was just like, now I want to try this. Now I have this idea. But I could do it so fast, and I could like express ideas and try things and play with things in such real
I
time.
will say it's like an idea maker. It's like an idea like if it took you like 4 hours to like write like a short story, or it took you multiple days to code something or this or that, like you can do stuff now at such a fast, like insanely fast way, where it just changes the game of everything, bro. Like you can make like it can code for you now, so like people can make apps and you can think about whatever you want to do, and it'll make it for you. This is like a fucking idea machine, and it just makes your ideas come to fruition, or helps you make your ideas come to fruition. So in that sense, like if you have an independent mind, if you are a critical thinker, and you want to use this for like the next thing or blah blah blah, like, oh dude, it's gonna be such a useful tool. And like I don't want to be all doom and gloom. Like I'm gonna use the shit out of this for myself, right? But it's like not everybody's gonna be like that. Those people who are less inclined to have like imaginative brains, like they're not gonna use ChatGPT for anything more than just like letting them run their lives. And I feel like that's gonna be the majority of people that use ChatGPT. Like we always focus on like, oh my god, that creativity. What can't we do? The blah blah. But it's like, and that is all good and great, and I will use it for that, and I will make a lot of stuff, and I'll try to make a lot of my ideas come to life and see what sticks 1,000%. And if you're like an ambitious person, if you're a smart person, you're gonna do the same thing. But I feel like most people are just gonna let it run their fucking lives, and that's a scary proposition. I don't know if that's scary to you, but it is to me.
To come up with new discoveries. One of the things that keeps knocking around in my head is if we were in 1899, say, and we were able to give it all of physics up until that point, and play it out a little bit, nothing further than that. Like, at what point would one of these systems come up with general relativity?
Interesting question is, did you
Wow, that's a good question. If we used information and technology that we just knew from like you pick a point like the 1700s, 1800s, would it be able to extrapolate that information into like modern day science that we have today? Oh my god. Somebody should do that as an experiment. Like if you just grabbed a language model like ChatGPT or something and just gave it parameters in terms of like maybe I can well no, it's already it has to be like a new development, like you have to create it a brand new AI and then you just give it the kind of technological advancement that we have for like the 1800s or something like that. Like this is the world that we live in. These are the confines that we have. Would it be able to extrapolate that further? I wonder if there has been any experiments run like that. That is very interesting. Very good
like
question.
if we think about that forward, like if we think of where we are now, should if we never got another piece of physics data,
Yeah.
do we expect that a really good superintelligence could just think super hard about our existing data and maybe say like solve high energy physics with no new particle accelerator, or does it need to build a new one and design new experiments? Obviously, we don't know the answer to that. Different people have different speculation. But
What's
I
your
suspect
speculation, bro?
we will find that for a lot of science, it's not enough to just think harder about the data we have, but we will need to build new instruments, conduct new experiments, and that will take some time. Like that is the real world is slow and messy
I
and
don't like his answer,
whatever.
dude.
So I'm sure we could make some more progress just by thinking harder about the current scientific data we have in the world. But my guess is to make the big progress, we'll also need to build new machines and run new experiments, and there will be some slowdown built into that. Been surprised. I think many other people have been surprised too about how fluent AI is at adapting to different cultural contexts and individuals. One of my favorite features that we have ever launched in ChatGPT is the sort of enhanced memory that came out earlier this year. Like it really feels like my ChatGPT gets to know me and what I care about and like my life experiences and background and the things that have led me to where they are. And my ChatGPT has really learned over the years of me talking to it about my culture, my values, my life. And I have used, I sometimes will use it in like, I'll use like a free account just to see what it's like without any of my history. And it feels really, really different. So yeah, I think we've all been
That is a good and a bad thing. Like it's gonna get more advanced in terms of like knowing you really well and like you said, like what your belief systems are, what you like, what you don't like. But then it's gonna be inherently biased because then it's just gonna try to make you happy based on what it thinks you need to hear. Do you want? So are you really getting the factual information, or are you just getting this, personalized, digitized version of what you want to hear and the things that you want to do instead of like sometimes you need to be told a harsh reality, sometimes you need to be told no, sometimes you need to see the opposite perspective for you to like really understand and grow. And like if this piece of technology and all you're feeding it is just your own personalized bullshit and all it feeds back is what it thinks you want to hear, whatever personalized bullshit it can make for you, or it could take you in. Like, would you be able to do any sort of like internal growth, external growth? Like, let's say you're somebody that you're a procrastinator, right? But you wanna write a book, but you procrastinate a lot, and so you ask ChatGPT to help you write a book, right? At what point are you just gonna let ChatGPT write the entire book for you? You know what I'm saying? Just out of laziness, out of petty. I'm sure already some people already have. This is what I'm talking about. Like, is it gonna really make you more productive, or just more lazy, and then you feed it certain ideas, and it'll do all the work for you? And that's what we're trying to get at. I guess that's what we're trying to do. I guess that's what the whole point of it is. But it takes away something like. Uh, it's a journey, right? When you're a craftsman, when you work on something, if you're a blacksmith, it's like the journey of how to make that entire blade beautiful and perfect. And if you just take all that process and you have a machine make it perfect for you in an instant, all you got to do is just input the measurements and the design and all this other shit. Like, I know we already have machines that kind of do that for us for other things, but like this is on a grander, wide scale. Like, this is with our ideas that we're doing this with. This is what with our like, and it's our ideas. These are the things that we've had in our mind for years, and now we can just put it through this machine system, and then based on like its thoughts on how you feel and what you are and this and that and the other and what you believe and what you think about, it's gonna make sure it gives this like personalized answer for you. And well, that's a good thing. It can be bad because it cannot be what you need to hear in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's to say, and like, who's this AI to decide that? And then again, you can say, well, it's up to the person to decide whether they want to listen to it, what they want to do with that information. But it's like, and I agree, I 100% agree. um but it's just, I just get the feeling like it's gonna make us, like, we already live in this world of like narcissism. It's about me, me, me. Like, people are not empathetic to other people. It's what like you want to do, what you want to feel, what you want to. It's all about your own individual person. Like, maybe that's what it should have been the entire time. But I think that community and loving other people and caring about other people is something that's like important and something that we need to hold on to as humans. And I feel like the further we go into this individualized and personal technological advancement, where it's like it's all catered to everything that you like, all your wants, all your needs. I feel like it's gonna have a tone of this. It's gonna have a tone of being disingenuous. It's gonna be not authentic. It won't feel real. It'll feel curated, and for some reason, at least for me, it feels gross. Maybe it's not the right word, but something along that. I do think that.
Have you seen the bunnies that are jumping on the trampoline?
Yes.
So for those who haven't seen it, maybe it looks like backyard footage of bunnies enjoying jumping on a trampoline. And this has gone incredibly viral recently. There's a human-made song about it. It's a whole thing.
There were bunnies that were jumping on a trampoline.
And I think the reason why people reacted so strongly to it, it was maybe the first time people saw a video, enjoyed it, and then later found out that it was completely AI generated. In this time travel trip, if we imagine in
That was AI generated, bro. We're cooked. Yo, we're cooked. What more information do you need to know? We're so fucking cooked, dude. Oh my God.
2030, we are teenagers, and we're scrolling whatever teenagers are scrolling in 2030.
This is crazy, bro.
How
I
do
don't
we
even
figure
know what
out
to.
what's real and what's not real?
Well, you don't. You don't figure out. Look at his mug's fucking face. I don't even have anything like wrong with Sam Altman. From all his interview, he seems like a very smart, nice guy. And if I could ever have a conversation with him, I would do so immediately. I have a billion questions that I would love to ask him. But in this context, look at that fucking smug look, dude. Like, oh, like, yeah, like what? Like, what do you mean we won't know? We won't know what's real. Everything's gonna be fake, and the only thing that's gonna be real is what our fucking AI overlords tells us is gonna be real, and we're gonna believe it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna ask it something, it's gonna tell us, and we're gonna go, I guess that's the truth. And so it's like, fuck, man, it's scary. This is so scary.
I mean, I can give all sorts of literal answers to that question. We could be cryptographically signing stuff, and we could decide who we trust their signature if they actually filmed something or not. But my sense is what's going to happen is it's just going to like gradually converge. You know, even like a photo you take out of your iPhone today, it's like mostly real, but it's a little not. There's like it's some AI thing running there in a way you don't understand and making it look like a little bit better. And sometimes you see these weird things where
The moon.
yeah. But there's like a lot of processing.
That's not even a good analogy. It's not even close, because a picture is taking something that is authentic, that is real, right? Making it a little bit brighter, more prettier, but it's real. AI is generating all these things, and like it's getting it from all over it's just data. It's just like information, and it's putting it together to make it look real, but it's not real. It's not a reflection of of a real like plant or object in the real world. In the real world, it's fucking made. It's fabricated through data and information, through zeros and ones, through numbers, right? it made that whole entire bunny on the trampoline video, and there was no bunnies. There was no real bunny. It was no real trampoline. It was fucking fabricated. So it is inherently fake. It's not real, and it's like for whatever reason that matters to us, and it should matter to us. And I don't know. I don't know. It freaks me the fuck out.
Power between the photons captured by that camera sensor and the image you eventually see. And you've decided it's real enough, or most people decided it's real enough. But we've accepted some gradual move from when it was like photons hitting the film in a camera, and editing tools being used to make it better than reality. Look back. Yeah, exactly. Or it's just like, you know, whole scenes are completely generated, or some of the whole videos are generated, like those bunnies on that trampoline. And I think that the sort of like the threshold for how real does it have to be to consider to be real will just keep moving.
So it's sort of an education question. It's people will.
Yeah, I mean, media is always like a little bit real and a little bit not real. Like, you know, we watch like a sci-fi movie. We know that didn't really happen. You watch like someone's like beautiful photo of themselves on vacation on Instagram. Like, okay, maybe that photo was like literally taken, but you know, there's like tons of tourists in line for the same photo, and that's like left out of it. And I think we just accept that. Now, certainly a higher.
It's not the same. Like, yeah, you could like fabricate moments and like take a pictures of it and like post it on your Instagram. It's like it's a fabricated moment, but based on a real thing. You're actually at the beach in Cabo. If there's tourists waiting, like there'll be tourists waiting. You'll look at the picture and you'll remember. I remember that day. There was like 1,000 people waiting to take that picture in that very same spot. It was windy. It was this, that, and the other. Right? That's like actual lived experience. There's no lived experience with AI. It's fucking fabricated down to its core. It's like inherently disingenuous. Or maybe not disingenuous, right? There's no like malicious intent in that way, but it's fake. It's not real. Like it's not through any lived experience. So it's like there's no like I mean you can still like you can learn from it. Obviously, you can gather information from it, even if it's not, you know, a lived experience. But I mean, no, like you to a lived experience, you have to be in that beach in Cabo. AI cannot just make you feel like you're in that beach in Cabo. I guess it could, eventually, but it's like there has to be a distinction between reality and fake. Because if we don't make that distinction, then we're lost. We're lost in the sauce, bro. And like, how the fuck do we get out of that? I would disagree with his like his take on like, oh well, life is already kind of fake. It's like, no, we have filters and we have all this shit to perceive the lived experience to maybe look better than they are, maybe twist them in some ways, but they're actually real lived experiences, right? With AI, like the bunnies and the trampoline, there is no lived experience. There are no bunnies that were jumping on the fucking trampoline. It's complete bullshit because it never happened anywhere. It's not real. It's fabricated, right? So there is a difference. It's a huge difference, and like we need to make sure that we all know what that difference is. Because if we just accept that, okay, well, things are real, things are fake, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I guess we'll just, fake. It's fuck. Like we won't be able to discern. We won't be able to discern from reality. So we won't know what's fake or what's real. So we'll just accept that everything's either real or everything's either fake. In both those areas, both those extremes, don't end well for any occasion. If you think everything's real, if you think everything's fake, like just think about the possibilities of how much damage or hurt that could do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I'm just so skeptical about the technology and what it's really gonna do, and how it's really gonna affect us as people. And I'm really frightened. I'm really scared. It's one of those things that I have in my head constantly.
2035. We're graduating from college, you and me. There are some leaders in the AI space that have said that in 5 years, half of the entry-level white-collar workforce will be replaced by AI. So we're college graduates in 5 years. What do you hope the world looks like for us? I think there's been a lot of talk about how AI might cause job displacement, but I'm also curious. I have a job that nobody would have thought we could have,
Totally.
a decade ago. What are the things that we could look ahead if we're thinking about
I mean, in
being college
2035,
graduates?
that like graduating college student, if they still go to college at all, could very well be like leaving on a mission to explore the solar system on a spaceship in some kind of completely new, exciting,
Oh my
super well paid, super interesting job, and feeling so bad for you and I that like we had to do this kind of like really boring old kind of work, and everything is just better. Like I 10 years feels very hard.
Again, rose-colored glasses, bro. We probably won't be able to go to college, and the people that are going to go to college is going to be some sort of degree that helps AI in some way, in some field. Robotics is going to be big, stuff like that. Engineering, I don't know, man. It's going to replace most people, so most people are going to be left without a job. Or even worse, a fucking purpose, right? So if AI is going to be able to replace 90% or 80%, 70%, a large number, maybe not 100, but it's still a large number. If it's going to replace us in terms of how we coexist in communities, like what do you think it's going to do to the community? Like, I don't know, but like, dude, this guy sees it too. I mean, it's easy for him to see it that way. He's making billions of fucking dollars, and he's gonna be okay. His family's gonna be okay. His kids are gonna be okay. He has nothing to worry about. If people like me, I earned my living on a trade. My father built a business on a trade. It's this trade that has given us purpose. It's giving us money. It's giving our whole family a reason to exist, to work, to get a comfortable living, to live in comfortable lives, compared to some other people. So it's like it's allowed us to live comfortably, even in this economy where things are so fucking bad and so expensive. And you live check to check sometimes, and things can get rough. But overall, because of this trade that I do, that we do, that my family does, that my family's involved in, because of this trade, we've made it work. Now, what if that trade is automatically uprooted, is now some fucking artificial intelligence robot can just do it like that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, for all my family that have found purpose and meaning in doing this one thing, into this trade, and putting all our energy, all our efforts, into evolving our craft and making sure that what we do for this trade and how we make money through this trade is done better and better each time, and we feel like a sense of achievement and purpose in that. If we don't have that anymore, then how are we still going to coexist happily in communities? How are we not going to be fucking depressed? How are we not going to be on pills? How are we going to not lose our critical thinking or intelligence? Or how are we not going to, we're going to look like fucking, it's going to be dystopian, bro. Like, I mean, it's going to be insane. We're going to be like the humans from Wall-E. Like, how the fuck do we stop that? It's like, we're already experiencing physical atrophy. Like, dude, it is so easy for me to go. I should not be eating any fast food. Matter of fact, I need to be eating healthy, hitting the gym. But it's so fucking easy for me to eat like shit and not go to the gym. And like, I have to find a discipline within myself. But everything is giving me such a rush, such a dopamine hit. Everything is like, yes, 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 whatever you want. It's not giving me what I fucking need. You know what I'm saying? It's going to give me what I want. What I want is bullshit food. What I want is to be lazy. What I want is my work to be done for me. And if you keep making that easier and easier, it's just going to feed my desires to be a fucking slob, lazy motherfucker. And I guess maybe people would say, well, you deserve to be that. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you like, then you just be a fucking lazy piece of shit, slobbering mother. But it's like, no, it's not like you might think you want that, but it's like, it's better to not be that. It's better that everything tells you to get up and do things that you don't want to do, and this, that, and the other. And if you're going to make your desire your like worst personality trait, your worst characteristics of being a procrastinator, a lazy person, eating healthy, not doing what you need to be doing. If everything in your life exacerbates that, like, how do you expect anybody to live a disciplined life, to live a life where hard work is rewarded, and you want to do this and that, and you want to sympathize for other people and help your community? Like, it all comes from doing things that you don't want to do. It all comes from finding purpose in your work, in your craft. It all comes from this, that, or the other. If that is automatically replaced by fucking machines and AI language models and this, that, It's like, how we as a community, are we as people, as humans, gonna find our purpose, or gonna be okay with ourselves? Like, maybe it'll help us like really think about what we want in this life, what our dreams should be, and it'll help us chase that. And like that's like again that's like the best case scenario, looking it through rose colored glasses. But I tend to fall back on like it's probably gonna hurt us a lot, man. I've always looked at life, right? Intelligent life, anyways, like there's like multiple ingredients to make life, right? Scientifically, maybe even ideologically, in terms of like how the intelligent mind of any mind, right, whether it's an alien life form or us humans, right, if it can think for itself and it's self-aware, it's an intelligent mind, right? So like the building blocks to life, I've always often thought about that. Yeah, you need the physical aspects, like you need the perfect climate, the perfect planet with the perfect atmosphere and the perfect amount of gravity and this, that, and the other to be able to make this life. And you know, it can start off as a single cell organism and evolve into a this, that, or the other. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know how, you know, the whole scientific makeup would work. But when I think about in terms of like psychologically, like philosophically, what a building block of life for any intelligent life form would be purpose. It needs to, that's an idea that it has to wrestle with, right? This intelligent being has to wrestle with the idea of purpose. Like what I was that, why was I born? What would I put on this earth or on this planet or whatever you know, whatever intelligent life form exists out there. Like, what is my meaning to this, right? And in asking that question, what you do if you're an intelligent being is try to find those answers, and that leads to creativity, that leads to innovation, that leads to so many other different things. It's so, you know, critical that we have this as a building block for life. And if that is such a critical thing that we need, if it's just stripped away from us, if nobody feels purpose or proud in their craft and their work and what they do anymore because it's done by a fucking machine with no emotions, it's like, how the fuck are we gonna feel? How is that gonna make the community feel as a whole? Are we gonna feel together and united? You know, it's Billy Bob who shows up at the church and talks to his fellow constituents, or Amy, she goes to, you know, feed the homeless every weekend and this, that, or the other. It's that kind of connection that makes us a community. Are we gonna lose that if we have, you know, robots and AI helping the poor, helping the homeless, feeding you know what I'm saying? It's like, if there's no heart in the human society and community that we have, then like the only alternative is fucking depression, is more anxiety, more drugs, more pills, more distractions from like the reality that you're facing. You know, that's when like virtual reality and like a simulation theory comes like very, very, very hard to ignore. You know what I'm saying? Because people are gonna want to look for an escape, right? And like that's the perfect escape right there. And it's, I don't know, man. It's scary. It's a scary thought to have.
To imagine at this point.
Because it's too far.
It's too far. Like if you compound the current rate of change for 10 more years, it's
I might
probably
need to
something we
change
can't
my
even.
time travel trips.
The fact that 10 years from now is so hard to predict because technologically it would be so much more advanced than we could ever like think about right now, just in less than a decade. Like less than a fucking decade, bro. It's crazy. It mind boggles me. Like technology is gonna evolve leaps and bounds. This is what people doesn't understand. Like the world's not gonna change in this small, slow pace. And like the next, maybe we'll see changes in like the next 50 or 100 years or two. Or no, it's like the next 5 years is gonna be radically different. And the next 5 years after that, like every fucking year as we get closer and closer, like it's gonna radically shape our society, and it's gonna make us. It's gonna make us adapt and evolve drastically as well. Like none of these changes, like just from me dissecting it from a bird's eye view, it's just like it doesn't seem like any of these changes are gonna come up to anything good. It's gonna hurt the human community and the individual human mind and heart and spirit more and more and more. At least that's how I see it. Maybe I just like I'm talking like a fucking old timer and boomer. It's like, oh, this technology's gonna, but I really do think we're right this time. I think I'm right this time. And I feel like I feel like we should talk about regulations and what this means to our society more. I feel like this should be one of the most important topics that the Congress should be talking about.
My understanding is that there are three big categories that have been limiting factors for AI. The first is compute, the second is data, and the third is algorithmic design.
The finding a way to get the energy, which is often a limiting factor piece of this, and all the other components together. This is hugely complex and expensive, and we're still doing this in like a sort of bespoke one-off way, although it's getting better. Like eventually we will just design a whole kind of like mega factory that takes, spiritually it will be melting sand on one end.
From what I understand, in terms of like the biggest bottleneck for AI and its type of technology is like power. It's like the energy. Like that thing won't. Doesn't change in terms of like how energy is made and what it does when it's being used. It creates heat, right? I'm not a scientist, right? So it's like you need like big power plants, and they're building it. They're building their own pretty much nuclear facilities to like power this thing. But it's like if it needs energy like that drastically to power these powerful AI systems that will continue to get more and more powerful, more and more, and more and more. And if it can't figure out a way to replace the energy source, that will be like its bottleneck, and maybe the thing that saves us in the long run, or we just figure out how to fucking just skirt that and keep it pushing. But from what I understand, and which isn't much, because I'm a fucking idiot, but like that is one of the biggest bottlenecks of AI, and it's like its energy consumption.
A kid born today will never be smarter than AI, ever. And a kid born today, by the time that kid like kind of understands the way the world works, will just always be used to an incredibly fast rate of things improving and discovering new science. They will never know any other world. It will seem totally natural. It will seem unthinkable and Stone Age like that we used to use computers or phones or any kind of technology that was not way smarter than we were. We will think like how bad those people of the 2020s had it.
I'm thinking about having kids.
You should. It's the best thing ever.
I know you just had your first kid. How does what you
This is like one of the things that like does make me a little bit hopeful that Sam Altman just had children, and he talked about it a little bit. And like one of the things that does when you have children, it makes you think more about yourself and like on a grander scope. And what I do, I'm going to help my kids in the long run, right? And so like that makes me a little bit hopeful, because I'm sure that he's asking him if he's a good person, right? He's asking himself this question like, I have children, I want them to grow up in a good world. I know he has the money and comfortability to make sure that happens, but at the end of the day, you don't want to live in this dystopian world and your children have to suffer for it. So I'm sure he asks himself that all the time, and maybe that has been some sort of deterrent. I hope so. But having kids is definitely an amazing thing that we should all be striving to do. Um, we haven't had people in my age, people my age, people in these modern times that we live in. They don't want children. They don't want families. They don't want commitment. They don't want to settle down, and it's a huge shame. It's incredibly sad, because we need that. With we need that, and we need more kids. And kids are good. They're a blessing, and it strips away our ego and makes us focus on something more than ourselves. So if there's anything hopeful about the man that's behind this OpenAI and ChatGPT and like his missions to like revolutionize the world, it's like, okay, he just had kids, and I'm sure he's asking himself those questions, and that makes me feel a tiny bit better, but still scared as shit.
just said affect how I should think about parenting a kid in that world? What advice would you give me?
Probably nothing different than the way you've been parenting kids for tens of thousands of years. Like, love your kids, show them the world, like support them in whatever they want to do, and teach them like how to be a good person. And that probably is what's going to matter.
Check out our YouTube channel. Check out the podcast with Sam Altman. It's a really good one. We're not going to go through the whole entire podcast. I just wanted to talk about some points that he mentioned there that I thought would be good points to bring up. Yeah, man. Final thoughts. I'm just scared. I'm terrified. ChatGPT 5 just came out and it's fucking amazing, dude. You can do virtually anything on it. If you haven't used it already, if you haven't tested it by now, you should. I recommend it. I've asked it to do all kinds of stuff, and like it's so fast, and it does pretty much anything I tell it to do within the parameters that I give it, obviously. But it's just so fascinating and so interesting and so scary all at the same time. And I really don't know what to think of it. I lean to skepticism. I lean to worry and anxiety, and maybe that's just me being dumb. And hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm really terrified that I'm right. And yeah, man, I just hope that we can get our shit together and figure this out. ChatGPT 5 is out. How does that affect us? How will it affect us? What are your thoughts? Please leave them down below. Let me know what you think. What do you think about ChatGPT 5? Have you been using it? What have you used it for? And how well do you think it works? And what do you think the future iterations will be able to do? Leave all that down in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. Yeah, man, that's been it for me. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.